For pre-need funerals, burials, and cremations, it is Curtis & Son Funeral Home since 1974. Memorial service for Mr. Kenneth McLaughlin will be Saturday at 2 p.m. from Oakville Baptist Church. Mr. McLaughlin service will be at Oakville Baptist Church on Saturday, beginning at 2 p.m. Curtis & Son Funeral Home directing. Visitation is tonight for Mrs. Birdie Ann Nicholson, age 66, of Childersburg. That visitation from 5 until 8 o'clock at Radley Smith Funeral Home Chapel. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com, Radley Smith Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for George William Bill Hardy, age 97. Memorial service today at 2 o'clock from First Presbyterian Church in Alexander City. In lieu of flowers, contribution can be made to a charity of one's choice. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com, Radley Funeral Home directing. Memorial service for Keith Barnett, age 65, of Sylacauga, is Saturday at 2 p.m. from Grace Baptist Church in Childersburg. Memorial message may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com, Radley Smith Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Max Howe Dawkins, age 87, of Ashland, will be Wednesday at 2 o'clock from Mellow Valley Baptist Church with Brother Joel Maxwell and Brother James Owens officiating. Burial in the Clay County Memory Gardens. Mr. Dawkins died April 16th at his residence. He was a member of the Mellow Valley Baptist Church, but had been attending Liberty Hill United Methodist Church. The family receiving friends tonight from 5 till 7 o'clock at the funeral home and 1 hour prior to the service tomorrow. The body will lie in state at the church from 1 until 2. Online condolences at BenefillFuneralHome.com, Benefill Funeral Home Ashland directing. Don A. Turner Sr., age 72, died April the 17th. Graveside service Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. from Blue Eye Baptist Church Cemetery in Lincoln with the Reverend Ray Crump officiating. The family receiving friends tonight, 6 until 8 at Earthtree Funeral Home. Online condolences at earthstreetfuneralhome.com. Contribution can be made to the Craig Memorial Methodist Church, P.O. Box 86, East Aboga, Alabama, 36260, Earthtree Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Mrs. Louise Burns Oden, age 94, will be Wednesday at 1 p.m. from New Hope Missionary Baptist Church. The station will be held 1 hour prior to the service at the church. Mrs. Oden died April the 12th at Traditional Health and Rehab in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Online condolences at communityfuneralhome.org. Community Funeral Home Sylacauga directing. Billy Gail Mowry, age 79, died April the 15th. Funeral service today at 2 p.m. from Earthtree Funeral Home Chapel in Talladega. The Reverend Tommy Strickland officiating. The family receiving friends prior to the service 1 until 2. Burial in the Oak Hill Cemetery. In lieu of flowers, donation can be made to the American Heart Association. Earthtree Funeral Home Talladega directing. Sarah Wren Langley, age 80, died Monday, April 17th. The station is tonight, 6 until 8 o'clock at Talladega Funeral Home. Funeral service will be 2 p.m. on Wednesday in the chapel at Talladega Funeral Home. The Reverend Otis Graves officiating. Burial in the Midway Memory Garden Cemetery. Online condolences at TalladagaFuneralHomeInc.com. Talladega Funeral Home directing. Graveside service for Mrs. Sue Edwards Towns, age 95, of Alexander City, is Wednesday at 4 p.m. from Hillview Memorial Park. The Reverend Blue Vardaman officiating. The family receiving friends on Wednesday, 2:30 to 3:30 at the funeral home. Mrs. Towns died Thursday. In lieu of flowers, the family requested donations be made to the First United Methodist Church in Alexander City or to a charity of one's choice. Mrs. Towns was a member of the First United Methodist Church of Alexander City. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com, Radley Funeral Home in Alexander City directing. And memorial service for Mr. Charles Easterwood Sr., age 87, of Alexander City, is today at 2 from the chapel of Radley Funeral Home. Reverend Richard East officiating. The family receiving friends 1 until 1:45 today at the funeral home. Mr. Easterwood died Sunday, April 16th at Russell Medical Center. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home in Alexander City, in charge of the funeral arrangements. This obituary report is brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. For pre-need funerals, burials, and cremations, it's Curtis & Son Funeral Home, 256-245-4361, Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.